Hello everyone. The game you're seeing right now is called Inzoi. And today we're talking about AI. So let me demonstrate how the AI works. So we walk to simple wardrobe, select outfit, go to craft, and hit a top, take a color, my texture, generate AI texture. So I wrote orange just before. Let's see, I am going to write berries. It's generating the AI texture. Okay, so now let me save it and let me apply it. It's like a tropical island shirt or something. I'll save it and I'll go back. Now you saw that it does the UV mapping, meaning it lines up the texture with the whatever clothing you put together. What is interesting about the feature is that it's controversial. By controversial, I mean I've gotten death threats from people in various discords. I've actually been cited. I've been banned from some of them just because I've declared. Just because I have declared that I like the feature and that I will continue using the feature because I paid for the feature. It's part of the price tag of this game. But I was thinking about just in general how the game handles AI. Well, first, this game will tell us on the Steam page. So here's the Steam page. AI generated content disclosure. The developers describe how the game uses AI generated content like this. Players can generate unique textures for character outfits and various items based on text input. They can also create 3D objects from image input, which can be used as interior decorations or accessories, and add distinctive motions to the Zoi using video input. Additionally, the actions and thoughts of Zois are controlled through SLM technology, enabling more engaging and intuitive interactions. And most of the people who have played this game have come to the consensus that the interactions aren't engaging and they're not intuitive at all. In fact, they're quite boring. The game itself is empty and pretty boring. And so, this is a game where just the AI itself is highly controversial. Now, what's my problem with people who think that I shouldn't use the AI? The fact that I think they're full of it, because their argument is that AI is bad because it automates a job that is meant for other people. Meaning, if I use AI, it means that there's an artist somewhere who is not being paid for their work. Meaning, if I create the texture and I have the game UV map it for me, I'm not paying a person like $100 to $1,000 for doing that for me. Well, they're going to lose the argument on automation because automation has existed since the very beginning of time. If you go all the way back to the Stone Age and you go to a farm, you're going to find that a cubic foot of water weighs around 62 to 64 pounds. Meaning, if you take the container and the water. It's going to be like 64 to 68 pounds or something like that. In other words, it's going to be a task that will be done a lot by men if they carry that much to be able to water the fields. But when irrigation came to be, all those men lost their jobs. Now the job was maintaining the irrigation system. And interestingly enough, the people who could handle the irrigation system, now that it was a lot easier, were the women. The women just had to make sure that the irrigation system was turned on, that was turned on for a set period of time and then turned off. And through that, they were able to have that job. So a job that was mainly the responsibility of men, through technology and automation, allowed women to handle that job. And there are plenty of examples of this in history. When computers came to be, the idea was to replace switchboard operators, telephone switchboard operators, with computers. Computers were invented to automate those things. And was it received well? Of course it was. Did people complain about the great many switchboard operators that will lose their jobs? Not really, because there weren't that many. Now, more modern examples of automations. Was the complaint great from society when the automobile was invented? And then 50 to 75 years later, most of the people who were in charge of handling horse carriages, were out of a job? No, those people moved on to other jobs. So there's a pattern here, and the pattern here is when automation is good, when it replaces jobs that are dominated by men, and these jobs are now allowed to be handled by women. The automated job is handled by women. Well, what happens when women stand to lose jobs from automation? Well, guess what? Everyone complains. Look at what happened with kiosks in McDonald's, kiosks in Wendy's, along with self-checkout in various places like Target and Walmart. Was there a massive boycott to that? Of course there was. Why? Because those are female-dominated positions. So when it's a woman losing a potential job, there has to be boycotts. The sky has to fall. There needs to be a reparation paid somewhere. So no one ever talks about how automation is responsible for many women gaining jobs. No one ever talks about that. Everyone talks about how an artist here or an artist there is losing their job. No one talks about how AI and automation is all over the music industry. We talk about film and acting, things of that nature, because there was a massive strike. Apparently, if there is a multi-billion-dollar industry, even a trillion-dollar industry backing it, and there are plenty of women who can complain about it, then AI is bad. But if it's in the music industry, AI is good. And if automation replaces someone's job, particularly a man's, there's no problem. I don't see anyone complaining about how Hatsune Miku is stealing the jobs of many low-end would-be singers. I don't see that. In fact, the Hatsune Miku concerts are sold out everywhere, each and every single time. So it drives me crazy when I am out and about and people in the city that I live in want me to sign some petition about banning all forms of AI. I'm like, okay, if you're going to ban automation, are you also going to ban the automation that take men's jobs away? Or is the purpose of banning automation to protect the jobs that women have? Because the majority of the time, since the beginning of humankind, that automation did occur, it benefit women. But now that women are losing some jobs through automation, all of a sudden it's not okay. Artificial intelligence is a form of automation. It's getting better, but it's not super great. Artificial intelligence does not replace having to know left from right. You can go to Perplexity, you can go to ChatGPT, you can do all of that stuff. But in order to have access to those things, you are going to need your smartphone, an always on internet connection, and you're going to need to learn how to write a question simple enough that an AI can actually answer it. And that information is going to have to be answered by a human being in order for the AI itself to find that information. So 2 plus 2 equals 4 means that I have to write 2 plus 2 equals 4 online. And if you ask what is 2 plus 2, it has to be able to search through a database, through a module, whatever system, find the information and relay the information to you. So AI is not perfect. It is far from perfect. Yes, it is getting better, but it's not there yet. And yes, it will replace a lot of the super dirt easy jobs. All those artists that spend their time, that I have seen that spend 5, 10, 20, 30 minutes doing something and expect to be paid $1,000 for it, are now going to have to lower their prices because guess what? AI is good enough to do something that simple. I know this. I used to do texture work in creating mods for video games. I used to put together a lot of mods out there, especially 10, 15, 20 years ago. What AI has been doing is it eliminates the people who are simple and cheap and replaces them with AI, while the people who are super good at their skill are not able to be replaced by AI and are able to beat the AIs. I find that the people who complain about AI automations are the people who their skill level is so low, but they think their skill level is so high that they fear losing their job to an AI. Now, if something happens to me that I lose my job to an AI, well, guess what? I learned a lot of skills growing up. And because I learned a lot of skills growing up, there will always be a job out there for me that will pay the bills. I am not worried about that. But there are many people out there who they decide to put all their eggs in one basket, and then when AI comes knocking on their door, or not even AI, some form of automation, the first thing that they do is they get together and they rally with people to save that one job that is their livelihood. So the argument on why AI is bad is a horrible argument, considering that in order to have access to AI, there are a lot of things that are bad that people do to access that to begin with. Like, there is a lot of people not learning the things that they're supposed to learn and outsourcing their brain to the internet. What? You don't know something? Just ask Google, because or just go through whatever search engine you like, because that's what a lot of people do. There are people in conversations that I have that they will distract me so that they can ask Siri or Alexa for the answer. And so it turns out that conversations have been automated these days. And the way I see it is automation is a natural thing. Automation is here to stay. AI is a form of automation. And the best thing that you could do as a person is not to be stuck in one skill. And if you are stuck in one skill, make sure that you become a master of that skill. Now, I will continue playing this game. I will continue seeing what kind of updates they have, and I'll be happy. You do not have the right to tell me that I do not have the right to use a feature that comes with the game itself. I'll leave it at that, and I'll see you all next time.